Hey guys, Ricky over here with Gonzalo. Today we're going to be teaching you a transition within side controls. So whenever we're going from one side control to another, I like to call that transition. Also when you're going side control to mount, that's a transition. When you're going from a dominant position to another dominant position. So today we're going to be transitioning between Kesa and crossbody. And we're keeping in mind the idea of our opponent's or partner's frame. So if he's on his back, I think this is a very important lesson, especially for beginners, for everybody, but for beginners, because a lot of times in the beginning we're used to pinning and pushing, but if he ever has a frame inside, pushing is not a good idea because he just starts to create longer frames and he starts to recover the guard. So when we're in side control, it's always beneficial for my partner to get his frame inside. So I have to keep that in mind. If he didn't have a frame inside, I'm always trying to hook him into me. A lot of times people here are pushing, putting a lot of pressure on the face, but here it makes it easy for him to create that frame. And now he can create an even longer frame and start to recover. I always want to avoid this as the person on top. So prior to him being able to actually establish a frame, if I hook him into me, it's tougher for him to do so because I'm closing the gap with the hook. So now, if I feel the threat of him getting his elbow inside, I can switch my position to Kesa. But if I switch over here, I want to make sure that he doesn't put the elbow to the floor right away, because if I end up over here and his elbow's in the way, it's hard to control this position. So prior to him getting his elbow in the way, as I extend my leg out this way, I try to catch my knee underneath his elbow first. So now you see his elbow can't touch the floor. And this hand, of course, is hooking him into me. If I just have this hand open, he creates enough space to get the elbow inside. It's a problem. So his hand's hooking. As long as my bottom leg is underneath his elbow, the other leg should fit. And then I'm going to make my way back to crossbody. So I don't want to go to crossbody without creating hooks first. Because if I do, he's just going to get his elbow inside. And that's always going to present a problem for you. So prior to doing that, after I get my second leg under, I create a hook. I like to put my thumb inside the collar back here, and I hook him into me. So now any attempt of him trying to jam his elbow inside to create a frame would just put me back in place, and now you can just reach deeper and continue hooking him so that he doesn't have any frames. A lot easier to transition to mounts and other positions when you don't have to deal with frames, and looking for submissions as well.